But I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
You have part of my attention. You have the minimum amount.
I'm the guy who does his job. You must be the other guy.
You got a lot of problems, don't you?
Oh, it's good to be back.
Eat shit. Eat shit. Eat shit.
Smug smile.
Definitely eat shit.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
You can't handle the truth. Hey, and welcome to another episode of Jukebox Jam Sessions. Just kidding. Nope, it's not even playlist. The old countdown episode. Welcome to Your List Sucks. I am not Cody Newberry. I am Brooklyn. He, for some reason, thinks it's a good idea to let me have shows once every few months. We decided to take out an old list from the old Jukebox days. Summer Songs. This is one of my favorite shows back in the day. Actually, one person returning from that original panel. It is the producer, the man behind the scenes, makes the show run a lot smooth. Yeah, words. Kaleb, are you ready to talk about even more summer songs?
Absolutely. Last time we did this, I think we did this 2 years ago. It's how I met Cody Newberry. So it's kind of a fun bringing it full circle. My tastes are pretty much the same. We'll see how much they've actually changed. I'd love to compare what I nominated last time to what I actually put up this time. But this will be fun. We'll see how this goes.
All right, and then my other guest, he is also in the Accidental Maroon Club. Kaleb and I just happen to have matching maroon shirts, well, color-wise. And then Andrew's like, I'm just going to throw mine on. But I know last music episode, Andrew, you're looking to get on. You couldn't make it, but now you're finally here. What can people get prepared for your list-wise?
A list that's not as pretentious as my lists usually are. That's what you can expect. My list is a lot more fun than normal.
Yeah, which is surprising, knowing you're I think general like almost stereotype in a way. But also joining us, a person that I was not expecting to have on the show is Scott Harvey. Scott, how are you doing? Did not pen you for a music person, but but actually after your performance in Miscellaneous, that wouldn't surprise me, knowing the things that you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess by that logic, I'm also a time hop person, which I don't even think that's really a thing. But yeah, no, I'm that's one of the reasons I'm here, honestly, is because I am a really big music fan, and I guess haven't really gotten much of a chance to talk about it in this community or whatever. So I'm here to show that, there's more to my taste than Taylor Swift. And I think I'll have a pretty diverse list tonight. I've got some contemporary stuff, some classic stuff in there, a lot of different genres. So hopefully there's something for everyone.
Yeah. Now, there's an unfamiliar face in here. We'll address the elephant in the room. But for the fan league historians, if you remember back before Multiplex, I believe that's referred to as 1BM. Corey was on the rappers jukebox playlist, and he has also been on call with Andrew. So he does have some fan league experience. It is a good friend of mine, Corey Duguay. I know your music tastes, we sort of clash on it, but I think it's really interesting. How did it feel to prepare a list for a show?
It was pretty fun. I'm excited to be making my debut, I guess, on Multiplex. I'm not sure how excited I am. The fact that it's in a spot where the other panelists are here to insult everything I say. So I guess we'll just have to see how it goes, see how my list does against everyone else.
All right. So let's get into the show. It's a top 10 list. So how we'll do it is we do 10 through 8. Just a sort of
missed my comment.
Little statement. 10 through 8 brief little statement, and then we'll do 7 through 4, and then we'll do 3 to 1, one at a time, and then that yikes rule applies. So let's get right into it. We'll go with Andrew first. Give us your 10 through 8.
All right. So my number 10 is LAX by Jake Owen. Not a surprise. My number 9 is Drink in My Hand by Eric Church. And my number 8 is Twist and Shout, The Beatles. Okay. All right. So LAX is the more down-tempo song that I have. Jake Owen has this really rich voice that works really well for summertime songs. Not my Eric Church song. But the thing about LAX is that it's about this guy who is wishing his ex-girlfriend all the best as she has moved to Los Angeles. And you get the images of like palm trees and sunny beaches as the steel guitar slides throughout the song. Drink in My Hand by Eric Church. Look, I love Eric Church. Yeah, not my Eric Church song. Look, it's not my favorite Eric Church song. My favorite Eric Church song, it's got to be like Record Year or Springsteen. But Drink in My Hand is the most summer one that I could think of. It's basically just like work sucks and like all of that. But man, I'm going to have a beer and it's going to be awesome. And for my number 8 is Twist and Shout by the Beatles. This is the Beatles song that I think of when I think of summer. Just the way that John throws himself into this song, the jangliness of it. It's just like the perfect upbeat, warm feeling song that the Beatles have in their category.
All right, yeah. So your first song, LAX. Nope. No, I know you tried to sell me a really beautiful song, but it just sort of fits into that generic modern country crap that mixes in with everything else, like Luke Bryan. Yeah, we've talked about this before and how I'm surrounded by this genre, and I just haven't attached to it. So yeah, this doesn't need to be on here. Drink in My Hand though is an entirely different scenario. You redeemed yourself. Eric Church is probably the better of the bunch in terms of country. But I think what hurts this song is that it kind of gets overplayed because it is one of the only good country songs. But I do agree that Eric Church is very talented. And then what is there not to say about Twist and Shout? I think the Beatles have sort of been talked to death. I disagree with you in terms of Twist and Shout being their better summer song. I would probably go Here Comes the Sun, or even sort of a dark horse pick, Octopus's Garden. It's sort of like a bubbly summertime vibe. But that's an all right bottom 10. Let's move over to Scott for your 10 through 8.
Yeah, so I should say sort of as a precursor that I picked songs obviously that have like summary lyrics and sound and everything, but also some songs that are like tied to my personal experiences in summer and stuff like that. So I will probably bring some of those up. But I started with a song that people probably won't have heard, but I wanted to include this band in there because they're one of my favorites. And so my 10 is the song Bros by Wolf Alice. At number 9, I have Gin and Juice by Snoop Dogg. And at number 8, I have Cape Cod Kwassa by Vampire Weekend. Okay, so my number 10, Bros. Yeah, like I said, Wolf Alice is one of my favorite bands. They have a really it's kind of 90s alternative style, but they're really kind of their own thing. And there's a little bit of like grunge and folk, but they have like some just chill songs like this. It's just a song about just hanging. It's kind of a childhood nostalgia type song. It's about like hanging out with your best friends in the summer when you're a kid, and just sort of the things you get up to when you're at that age. And it's got this like chiming guitar riff, which is really easy to listen to. So yeah, I really like the song. My number 9, Gin and Juice. Yeah, I think the lyrics kind of say it all in this song. I mean, it's a song about just sitting back, chilling, sipping your favorite drink. It's just got really smooth production. Snoop, obviously, he's just a very easy rapper to listen to a lot of times. And so I think that's a natural pick. And then my number 8, yeah, I wanted to have a Vampire Weekend song on here because I think especially their earlier stuff, the more like Afro beat and style stuff is definitely summery sounding. And this was a great example of a song that like I can just imagine like walking around at like a festival, and this song is kind of going on in the background. It's not a song that like stops you in your tracks and is like, oh, I got to keep listening to this because it has, really repetitive like guitar riff. But I think that's one of the things that makes it work, is that it's just very like relaxing and, like I said, great to just like have in the background while you're like on a beach or something. So that's why I chose it.
Very cool. All right, so number 10, Bros. It's fine, I guess. I sort of what I have here notes wise. It's a better version of Summertime Sadness aesthetically. It sort of has the same beats. But what I also have in notes here is tell him to check out Metric. Metric is a
I love
Canadian.
Metric.
Yeah, Metric's really good. I got to see them live last year. But yeah, I think you would really dig them, which turns out you do. Gin and Juice. Is this the right Snoop Dogg song? Maybe. What's My Name is the better one, but I think this one is fine. The fact that this is number 9 though is a little sad. I think this could be higher, given how much it did do in the 90s, and it's one of the iconic Snoop Dogg songs. And I think this song in particular has that like West Coast like lowrider vibe, sort of like walking, going down the streets. Smoking Endo, sipping on gin and juice. And then number 8, Cape Cod. I disagree with you. This song is kind of all over the place. It has that like international vibe, but it just sort of like, let's just mix everything together. Whenever I initially heard this song, I was like, I want to hear that song. And it's like don't let something about the rainbow, because I heard it a lot. But I realized I was thinking of A Punk, which is actually also by Vampire Weekend. So whenever I heard this song, I was like, I just want to listen to A Punk. That's kind of a better song. But you know what? It's good. Let's move on now to Corey. Let us hear your 10 threes.
All right. I might even butcher the first name that I'm going to use here. So number 10 is Danza Kuduro from Don Omar. Number 9, I have Return of the Mack by Mark Morrison. And number 8, I have New Orleans is Sinking by the Tragically Hip.
All right, let's hear it.
For Danza Kuduro, Scott actually alluded to it, where some of his picks are kind of like from his experience and stuff like that with summer. And so growing up in Eastern Canada, summer is a precious thing to us. And I've only been on a couple trips down south, and I went to Dominican back in 2013, and Danza Kuduro was like the theme song for that trip down there. And it's just a fun, upbeat song. And it kind of, whenever I hear that song, I think about good weather, warm vibes, and stuff like that. And it's just like an easy listen. And that's why it just kind of came in there at number 10. For Return of the Mack, I mean, what can you say? I think it's the best one-hit wonder song ever. Maybe a hot take, maybe not. Don't know. I think it works in any scenario. If you just want to chill and relax, you can throw in Return of the Mack. There's UFC fighters that walk out to the cage to Return of the Mack. I mean, it's stood the test of time as a one-hit wonder. A guy that sucks at making music made a great song, and that's why it's number 9. And for New Orleans is Sinking, I mean, Tragically Hip. If you're Canadian, you're probably going to be jamming out to them in the summer. And I think New Orleans is Sinking might be their most like upbeat, fun song, even though it's about a city sinking and going underwater. But I think it's one of those songs where it's easy to listen to, fun to listen to, and from probably the best Canadian band of all time, in my opinion.
It's arguable for best Canadian band, but they're definitely in that discussion. Number 10, Danza Kuduro. Upon listening to the song, I was sort of shaking my head because I was just like, I fucking hate the song, but it's so goddamn catchy. This is very reminiscent of like 20-year-old me going to Peak Ski, getting drunk off of like whiskey sours and Jager bombs, and like it's like, oh, I love this like super catchy song that I don't understand the lyrics to, but I'm just gonna go dance to it anyways and not really care. Number 9, Return to the Mack. I'd say this song should be higher, but Anthony Smith kind of got destroyed by Glover Teixeira, so 9's fine. But yeah, it's a smooth groove. The bass line works really well. This is sort of like that like pre-drink. It's like very similar to a walk-in. It's a pre-drink sort of like hype song that I think it sort of gets everybody in that like summertime party mood. And number 8. I just wish that you put this song one list higher so that everybody else on this panel could admit that they've, 1, never heard the song, and 2, probably haven't even listened to the band. I agree, Tragically Hip is one of the greatest Canadian bands ever. But I would actually probably put Courage first in terms of summer songs. We're really thinking it's fun. It has a good riff, but I think Courage has just a good overall feel. And now move over to Kaleb for his 10 through 8. Let's see what you got.
I just would like to say for the record, I have no fucking idea what happened in the last 15 minutes, so I'm going to take us to a lot more popular music. Number 10 is Say Hey, I Love You by Michael Fonte. My number 9 is Southern Nights by Glen Campbell. My number 8 is Love Never Felt So Good by Michael Jackson and Justin Timberlake. Cool. So, Say Hey, I Love You is kind of, to me, it's one of the one-hit wonder songs that feels pretty definitively summer. I put it on here mainly because I was like, I needed a 10, and I thought this was a really good encapsulation of like what a fun summer vibe kind of is. It's just got that kind of tropical up sounding music that's just like, yeah, cool, I'm in. Southern Nights, Glen Campbell is definitely a campfire song or a road trip song. It works either way. I love it. It captures that summer night feel. And you knew I was going to have a Michael Jackson on here. Bar, shut the fuck up. So I went with the one from Escape. This is his most summer song. Of all of Michael Jackson's discography, this is his most summer song. To have him and Justin Timberlake singing together on this very peppy, bright, sunny song, I think it's Michael Jackson's most summer song, and there was going to be an MJ, so I picked that one.
All right, so number 10, Say Hey, I Love You. I'm disappointed at how low this is because I think you don't give this song enough credit. It's really good. It's really catchy. It has that like super upbeat reggae beat, which I think sort of came in to fruition in like the early 2010s, late 2000s. It sort of does what it needs to do, and you could have put this higher. Southern Nights though, no.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Brooklyn?
Wow. It's like literally in my notes. It's just a saloon kind of feel that's honestly done better in Octopus's Garden or like Bad Leroy Brown or anything Van Morrison. I get it. I understand why, but there's just better versions of this concept applied to better even summer songs. But what never felt so good though is where you totally redeem yourself because you talked about this song last time.
I did. I brought it back.
I fell in love with it, and this is really good. It just has that like off the wall sound that I think everybody fell in love with in terms of Michael Jackson, and it just it's like it gives it like a charm, and then to add in Justin Timberlake is just icing on top of the cake. But yeah, this is a really good disco sounding song for sure. But let's go back to Andrew, starting with your 7.
I got my swim trunks because it's the summer, and my flippy floppies. You're a Kinko straight making copies. I'm on a boat, motherfucker.
Where is Kaleb Boatman? If you say I'm on a boat at least 3 times, he appears.
This song.
It wasn't Yikes. What a surprise. Go on.
I know. This song is actually so much more fun than I remember it being. Like, when this topic came up, I was like, let me just double check, see if that song, blah, blah, blah. And the more and more I thought about it, the more and more that it made sense, and the more and more it really grew on me. The way that the two of them are just throwing themselves into this song, it's so great. And it is the perfect song to play while on a boat. It is the perfect summertime feel for when you're out on the water. I'm on a boat is just so much energy, so much joy, and all of the nautical language that they're throwing around makes it a brilliant song for the summer. I'm on a boat, motherfucker.
So yeah, as I re-listened to the song, I remember to a point when I was like probably like grade 9, grade 10, and I used to think these guys were the greatest band ever. When like Jizzed in My Pants was a banger, and like I Just Had Sex. But yeah, I'm on a boat is kind of it's, if I was 12 I would love it, but now as a grown adult who has a fully processed brain,
wow, what a dig.
10 is totally fine, but 7 is perfect. No, 7's too high. Even honorable mention. But there is a member of Team 19 here, so I'm sure he'll tell me why I'm wrong. Where was the boat? Where was the boat, everybody?
You have the fucking audacity to sit here and tell me that Love Never Felt So Good is not a summer song. And then you go and put the third best Lonely Island song on your fucking list. Get the fuck out of my face. This is the song that after Boat won his first match for the Kingsman, we put the song on and we jammed out with him for it. But no, fucking no. Sorry, homie. No, fuck you. Get out of my face. This is not a summer song in the slightest. Jack Sparrow's better. Fight me.
Yeah, but it's not a better summer song, so fight
This
me.
isn't a summer song either, so get fucked.
Yes, it is. Like the entire theme is so nautical that the only time to play it is during the
Because
summer.
boats
So fight
obviously
me.
mean summer. Did the Titanic go down in the summer?
Yes, I think it did.
I think the two of you need to get on a lobster boat, and you'll realize how summer a boat can be. Scott or Corey, what do you guys think about this song?
Do you want to go, Scott?
Sure. Yeah. I think this is a good pick from Bar. I mean, this is one of the iconic Lonely Island songs. Well, I don't have a definitive ranking in my head, but it's up there for sure. And yeah, I mean, who among us has not been on the boat, has not been on a boat before and like said the phrase "I'm on a boat" in reference to this song? So I think this is a solid pick, even if not all boats go in the summer. Like I understand that point, but I think you could probably nitpick a lot of the songs that we picked here. So I think this is a good choice.
I think this song is really good. It's really fun. But the thing with this song and most Lonely Island songs is you hear it once and you're like, that was fun. And then as soon as the playlist loops through and it turns on again, you say, next song. I do not want to hear that song again. It gets old fast, I think. So that's why I just can't have that on the top 10 list at all.
Well, Corey, I'm glad that you are a wise man in this bunch of children. But Andrew, let's move to your number 6.
All right, my number 6 is probably the most groovy song on my list, and it's by one of my all-time favorite niche bands. It's Love Shack by the B-52s. I think, don't you roll your eyes. Don't you roll your eyes. Love Shack is one of the most fun songs ever created. That bass line, look, if there's one instrument that makes a really good summer song, it is the bass. And the bass line in Love Shack is dope. Also, just like, the imagery is so bright and sunshiny that it's the perfect time of year to play this song. And Fred Schneider, for some reason, his voice is just strange enough that summertime heat really helps with it. This song's got just so much bounce and energy and fun. It's infectious. And my tin roof's rusted.
Yeah. All right. So for number 6, I'm surprised at how low it is, knowing your taste. I expected a song like this to be higher. But I agree with you. I was introduced to this song really early on in my life, like probably like 9 or 10, and it has like just the right amount of cheese, the right amount of ham. It's tasty. Frank Schneider, which is a name that I definitely knew before now, and just not echoing what you said. He's actually self-taught himself for guitar, which allowed him to really have his own sound and really unique. He throws in some weird like 7ths and 9ths, but I agree. It's fun. It's like California dialed up to 11. And I think it sort of works. But let's hear everybody else's thoughts on the Love Shack.
I think this is a good pick. I might have gone with Rock Lobster just for the camp factor, but
not lying. That was my number 11.
This is totally a song that you would like just hear when you're like in a random restaurant or whatever on the side of the beach or whatever. Like you would totally hear this song. So I think it's a good choice.
See, I'm terrible with artists, and I'm just going to assume that this is like the Love Shack that you hear at every wedding ever.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, unless like your aunt is getting remarried for the 3rd time, I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to hear this song. It's just like, you know, it's one of those songs where you hear it once at a wedding, and then 5 years later you can listen to it again at another wedding. I don't like this song at all.
If you're willing to listen to this song willingly for fun and entertainment, you're fucked in the head. Sorry, Bar. There's something wrong with you.
I love listening to the song during the summer. I will willingly listen
Well,
to the song.
Don't worry, Andrew. You're not alone.
I'm pretty sure Bar's the Zodiac, guys.
All right, Andrew, let's move on to your number 5.
I'm gonna win Koho back with this one. It's almost the perfect 4th of July song. Just from the strings, just from the delivery, and once again, the slight bounce that it has, which is weird considering it's coming from an Englishman. This is Philadelphia Freedom by Elton John. This song just encapsulates that fireworks, hot dogs on the grill, kind of 4th of July festivities. Because it's got that slight patriotic sound to it, that slight rhythm. And it's Elton John. He's one of the greatest vocalists of all time. He's one of the greatest musicians of all time. Like it's just so infectious, which is a word I think is the best word to describe really great summer songs, is infectious. And that's what Philadelphia Freedom is. This song is dope.
So I'll give you a pass for this one, reluctantly. It's Elton John. I understand. It's Philadelphia. Like there is that like local sort of hometown attachment to it. I would probably go Crocodile Rock or Don't Go Breaking My Heart or Honky Cat or like Saturday Night's Alright in terms of summer. But it's funny that Corey mentioned wedding songs for the Love Shack because I actually have in my notes the wedding song that all the aunts and uncles dance to. Also, in terms of 4th of July songs, Freebird would like to have a word with you. I think that's probably the best 4th of July song. And
I will fight you on that.
A final point, the bass line for this song is better than the bass line in Love Shack.
That's fair. That's fair.
But where was Elton John? Why didn't I hear yikes from either of you or all three of you? Corey, we'll start off with you.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say. Elton John is good, fun to listen to. He's just not going to make the top 10 list for me, and I'm not going to rag on Elton John. So I'm okay with that pick.
You better fucking not.
That's what I just said. I won't.
I'm sitting here like petrified. You're about to go into an Elton John. I'm not going to talk about how trash Elton John. I was going to be like, all right, here we go. I'm about to go to Canada. Here we go. No
bad for Elton.
Kaleb, I would have picked you up on the way up there myself.
Not a bad pick. I don't have it personally, but I get it. I 100% get it, and I won't fault you for it. You didn't 100% redeem yourself for B-52s, but okay.
It's a good song, and Elton John obviously is an amazing artist. I echo what everyone else has said, but I think I agree with Brooklyn that if you wanted to pick an Elton John song, that probably Crocodile Rock would have been the best one for this list. I think you made a pretty convincing case for it, but I don't know. I think there were better choices, and I mean, I just want to say that I think the best 4th of July song is the Star Spangled Banner because I'm a real American. So.
God
damn it! Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that?
All right, let's move on now to your number 4.
Damn it! My list is just ruined now. Okay. Hey, Philadelphia, PA, Chicago. Don't forget the Motor City. They're all doing it. They're all dancing in the street. But specifically the Martha Reeves and the Vandellas version, not the shitty Mick Jagger, David Bowie version. Because, this song, this is such a great song. And Martha Reeves, first of all, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas is one of those groups that's I think unfairly underrated, because when you think of like the great girl groups from the 60s, you think like Diana Ross and the Supremes and all them, and Martha Reeves and the Vandellas just seem to get pushed to the side. But this song, it's one of those songs that literally calls for everybody. It is such a universal song, and the horn section, whenever that amazing. just this great warm sensation that it's energetic. It screams like backyard party with like a beer keg. This is such a great song.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be weird and say that I like the Bowie and Jagger version better. I think.
Oh my god, who are you?
I
don't know you anymore.
Yeah, their vocal performances are a little more dynamic. Martha Reeves in particular has a really nice voice. But I think there's something that I'm just missing from that backing group. And I don't know. I'm weird like that, you know. Sometimes I just like cold spaghetti, and sometimes I just like Bowie and Jagger over some really good Motown. But I'm gonna throw it out to the rest of you all. Why were you guys not dancing in the street?
I don't know what the hell this is.
Have you never heard the song? You surely have heard the song. For shame, Scott. Tell me,
Shirley.
I've heard the song. It's a good song. You know, it's kind of a Motown classic. But I don't know. It just wasn't really one that sprung into my head when it came to summer songs. I'm not saying it's a bad choice. There are any number of songs out there that could probably fit this topic, but it just wasn't one that came to the forefront of my mind.
Yeah, and I like the song. It's one of those songs where if you're somewhere it comes on, I'm like, oh, that's a good song. But it's just not the type of music that I listen to, so that's why it's kind of not something I brought up. But I can't hate on it. It's a good song.
All right, let's move on then to Scott, starting with your number 7.
Sure. So my number 7, an artist that already kind of came up. It seems like you don't like Summertime Sadness, Brooklyn, so I hope that you like West Coast by Lana Del Rey a little bit better, because that is my number 7. I think this is so. First of all, I think Lana Del Rey just in general has a really good like classic Americana voice that just on its own sort of like evokes summer. But I think this song in particular kind of has like a summer day, summer night, like 2 phases to it. Like the first part of the song, like the verses are like really a little bit more up tempo. They have like this sort of desert rock type groove going on, and then the chorus they slow it down, and there's a tempo shift, and it gets a lot slower, and it turns into just like a slow jam, like you're driving at night in the summer. And so I think it just has whatever your vibe is in terms of what time of summer it is. I think this song fits the bill, and I wanted to. Lana was another artist that I definitely wanted to have in here just because of her voice.
So yeah, you are right. I'm not a massive fan of Summertime Sadness, but I do like West Coast. It's super dreamy. It's more rock than I anticipated. I think I've always assumed for Lana to be more of like an alt pop sort of artist. So it has like a Pink Floyd, Foo Fighters, Arctic Monkeys sort of vibe with like this underlying indie sound. I think a lot of songs can get punished for changing the tempo, but I think West Coast in the chorus does a really good job. Again, invoking that like super dreamy thing. I also love because whenever I had heard the chorus, it sort of fits into like a subcategory of songs that just throw in random Spanish lyrics or random. I believe it's Spanish, and it's just kind of like I don't understand why, but it's kind of cool. But yeah, Lana Del Rey, West Coast. Where was it on your guys' list?
Honestly, Lana Del Rey is one of those artists that has definitely gotten better, but she's still she's not for me. I don't hate her, but it's just she's just one of those artists that for me just like doesn't click.
I don't think I know what song this is. I probably have heard it. I just don't know.
I'm almost positive you have heard it. I've definitely heard it on Hot 105.5.
Yeah.
Overrated. I do not like Lana Del Rey. She's overrated as fuck.
The energy from Koho is just ecstatic.
I should have gone with the pop punk song instead.
Eerily at a mile an hour.
Yeah, let's
move on to your number 6.
My number 6 is The Boys of Summer by Don Henley. Okay, I thought that one could get yikes, but yeah, this is a kind of a classic summer song. I think Don Henley kind of brings the same California soft rock thing that he mastered when he was with the Eagles. And this is a song that, talking about, again, about my personal experiences, my family had season tickets to our minor league baseball team here in Tennessee for years, and this song would play at every single game. And so it was one of those songs where, like, I knew what it was, but like I knew the song before I knew like what it was, who the artist was, anything like that. And then once I eventually did realize it was Don Henley, I was like, yeah, that actually makes total sense. But so it definitely has, I mean, it's summer's right there in the title. And I definitely have a lot of memories of associating this song with summer as well. So I had to go with this one.
So I appreciate your attempt to swoon me, I guess, or treat me with Don Henley, a member of the Eagles, one of my favorite bands ever. But this is one of the rare times that I will say it has been done better. The Ataris did a really good pop punk cover version, which succeeds this version, in my opinion. But this one's fine.
I agree. I just think this one has the summer vibe a little bit more, but I actually do agree with that take.
I understand. I think it's more so. I just grew up with the Atari's version more so, and I discovered this with this one later. It's fine. It's kind of dated with how 80s it is. 6 is a fine spot. It's kind of that middle of the road. Like, it's not great, but it's not awful. But I'm curious to hear if Kaleb, Corey, or Andrew agree with me that the Atari's version is a much better version.
First of all, I want to say that I fucked up. I should have put this song on my list.
God, you don't get to use the "I fucked up" pass. I wore out the "I fucked up" pass for everyone in the history of the show for life last week.
You did. So let me rephrase. I'm a dumbass.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I should have put this song on my list. Oh, I'm so stupid.
I'm not a fan. Maybe not because it's not that it's not a good song. I've heard it so goddamn much working at the classic rock station that I'm pretty over it. I'm just pretty tired of this song in general. I never need to listen to it again. So
that's fair. Corey,
this song actually made my list. It was in the short list for making it, and the reason I didn't put it on is just because, like, once again, the music that I'm putting on my playlist, it doesn't really fall into it, and it's one of those songs, you know, like Koho was saying, is like if you go to a bar to have like apps and drinks, you're probably going to hear that song at some point sitting out on the patio. So it's like during the summer, I don't have to worry about listening to it because it's going to be played multiple places. So I'm going to hear it plenty of times anyway. But yeah, it's a great song. And I don't know if I agree with you, bro.
All right. But really? That's surprising. All right. Scott, let's go to number 5.
Yeah, okay, my number 5 is another sort of sentimental pick, but I chose LDN by Lily Allen. Sort of the backstory on this one is, like, when I turned 16 and, like, started driving and, you know, had my own car and everything, I had, like, 3 CDs in my car, and, like, one of them was Lily Allen's first album, which this song is off of. And so it was the summer, like, when I started driving, you know, you start driving, you feel like you're on top of the world or whatever. And this was, so I'd always play this album. So it has a lot of sentimental value for me. But as far as the song in particular, I think it is definitely a summer song. The chorus is very, like, sunny and even mentions the sun. But I also just really like the song, like the verses, because it's kind of like a humorous song about, like, walking around a city, in particular London here, and, like, there are certain things you see and it looks like, oh, this is a nice image, but actually if you do a double take, you realize that there's actually something a little darker going on. Like, maybe you see a guy who looks like he's helping an old lady with her purse, but if you look a second time, you realize, oh, he's actually mugging her. And so it's just kind of a song about, like, loving the place where you are, the city where you are, despite, like, the flaws and stuff, which you can, you know, see if you look a second time. And so, yeah, this is a good pick, I think.
Yeah. When you sent me your list, I was like, oh, Lily Allen. That's a name I haven't heard since I was, like, in middle school or junior high. I think Smile was her breakout hit, or there was that music video of the kid, of, like, the puppet or whatever, that was really fucking creepy. But yeah, I agree with you. It has that summer mentality. Whenever I was listening to it on re-listen, it reminded me of, like, just, like, being 12 and going, like, kind of sort of just being on the bikes, hanging around with friends. It has that very like bouncy sort of vibe with the trumpets. The one critique that I have though, there's a triangle or something in the verse that's kind of distracting. And hip hop songs have been notorious for just throwing in random things in songs that don't really make sense. Express Yourself, one of my favorite songs, actually is a victim of that. It has like a weird thing that it just throws in the loop that doesn't make sense whatsoever. But Koho, have you heard of Lily Allen? Everybody else, do you like this song?
I don't know who Lily Allen is.
Okay. Andrew, yeah.
I've heard of Lily Allen. I just don't know. I can't think of this song right now. Like, I don't know exactly what song it is.
So I took a little break to refresh myself on this song. It's one of her better earlier ones. I like Lily Allen. She kind of falls into that Lana Del Rey category for me, except a little bit higher. Where I like her, but I don't necessarily seek her out all the time. But if you're going to pick an early Lily Allen song, this is the right one.
All right. So let's hear your 4.
Yes, my 4 is California Girls by the Beach Boys.
Oh, okay. Oh, God. Okay, good.
No, yeah. I wanted to keep some suspense there about who the artist was. But, yeah, no. The Beach Boys, I feel like, were an essential artist that, I would be surprised if they don't come up on someone else's list later, but you could have picked any number of songs. I chose this one. I mean, I think for obvious reasons, I have like a California vibe to my list or whatever, which is funny because I've never even been there. But when I think of summer, I guess I think of what I imagine California to be like. But yeah, it's a song about hanging out on the beach, and I mean, we're all fellas here. I think we know about there's some stuff about like girls in bikinis and all that and stuff too, which is definitely a part of summer. So yeah, I chose this one.
You're absolutely right in terms of like the Beach Boys. I think are just a standard for this kind of list or just California rock in general. This is the wrong song though to pick. I would ideally go Kokomo, which is I know it's kind of like it's the obvious choice, but that's the one where it's like too obvious is fine. This song kind of drags, and much like West Coast, where it changes tempo in the chorus, does the exact same thing here. It just doesn't work, and it doesn't work for that vibe that they're trying to go for. I'm gonna play recency bias again and say that Van Halen did it better. They kept it upbeat, which is what that song really needs. But where was the Beach Boys at all on any of your lists?
Okay, so first of all, I think this is a good pick. The Beach Boys do tempo changes almost better than almost anyone else, which is why I almost put Good Vibrations on my list.
Which would have been fine. Which would have been great.
I don't like the Beach Boys.
But sorry, Andrew, I cut you off. You were saying?
No, that was the end.
Oh, that was this. Oh, Koho.
I had like 8 or 9 different Beach Boys songs that were all fighting for a spot, and I ended up not being able to choose between any of them. So they all kind of split the vote on each other, and so I would, if I had to pick one, the one that came closest is probably Fun, and that was probably my 11. So
that would also would have been an alright choice. All right, let's now move on to Corey. Your number 7.
All right, my number 7 pick is "Pocket Full of Sunshine" by Natasha Bedingfield. This is a fun song. If you might remember from the movie Easy A, which is not a bad movie, but that's probably a hot take as well. I don't know. And it's one of those songs. It's catchy, and even if you listen to it the first time, by the end of the song, you're going to be singing the chorus. Yeah, I mean, it's just lighthearted, and it's a great song.
All right. So whenever you set your list, this is the one that kind of threw me off guard because I never took you for a Natasha Bedingfield fan. I think upon first glance, the initial pick to go for would probably be Unwritten. It has. I really like the gospel-y vibe for it, and I think it really has a good tone in terms of like sort of like setting the summer season up. You know, the rest is still unwritten. There's so many things to do because summer is really an adventure. This song though is pretty good. It's kind of like Natasha Bedingfield overall is sort of like Nelly Furtado, but a lot better. And it's like, I don't know if I would personally put this on my list just because it's average. I've yet, to the surprise of absolutely nobody, I've yet to watch Easy A, so I don't have that attachment to it. But I can't wait to hear that I'm in the minority when everybody else tells me how they feel about this song.
Easy A slaps, and the song is dope. Corey, you win.
Thank you, Koho. I wish I could see your face for that.
I guess I'll play the counterpoint again. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Easy A, honestly, and I actually think this song is a little bit annoying, maybe because of the movie. I don't know if there's an association there, but I think if you had gone with Unwritten, yeah, I would have totally been on board because I love that song. But I don't know. This one is just a little too much of a sugar rush, I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna agree in the sense that Unwritten probably would have been my pick if we were going to Natasha Bedingfield. First of all, I think we can all agree that Natasha Bedingfield is way better than Daniel Bedingfield.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. This song though, like the chorus is great, but when you get to the verses, the melody on the verses, I'm kind of with Scott. Like it's a little annoying for me.
All right, let's move on then to your number 6.
All right, number 6 comes from a rap legend, and I expect him to be on everybody's list. And the song is "Wild Wild West" by Will Smith.
Ooh, Brooklyn, are we going to count this as a yikes?
I believe so.
Okay, we're going to count this as a yikes.
Okay.
So this will be yikes.
All right.
Because there is a different Will Smith song on another list.
Yep.
So let's talk about your number 5.
Okay. This is probably a song that maybe no one even heard. It's called YGMFU, and it's by Bubba Sparks featuring Yellow Wolf. Now, I know it's hard to make a better song than Miss New Booty.
Oh my God.
But Bubba Sparks did it with this song. And it's like, I know it's not even really a summer song, but it's just a song I really like listening to. So pretty much anytime I make a playlist, this song is going to be in it. It doesn't take itself seriously. It's catchy, you know, it's fun, and that's why I like it. And yeah.
So in terms of summer song, this is definitely lacking. You have played this song many times before this list. So that's what I sort of have the association with, and that's why I'm sort of fine with it, because it brings me back to like playing cards at 3 a.m. And this song would be just part of that 90s hip hop mix. So just the fact that I have an association with this mix really sort of gets it for me. In terms of the song overall, I don't really have anything to say. But you have successfully used nostalgia. Caleb's opinion is probably the one that I'm most scared of, because I don't know if he knows Bubba Sparks, knowing his rap history.
I like Yellow Wolf. He's not bad.
Yeah.
I've never heard this song. So
gotta check it out. Unreal.
I will.
All right.
First of all, I'm really happy that you put this on here.
Do you know this song?
Yes, I do. But I know the song, and I love Yellow Wolf. I like Bubba Sparks, but for some reason his tone doesn't work for me with this beat as well as I would like it to.
Fair enough.
And Scott?
Yeah, I haven't heard this one. I know who Yellow Wolf is. I don't know who Bubba Sparks is actually, but I don't know. What little I have heard of Yellow Wolf, I don't think he's necessarily my thing when it comes to rap. but I would definitely be willing to give this song a try because my knowledge of either of these artists is very limited for sure.
Oh, you gotta hear Miss New Booty.
Yeah, that was huge back in the day.
Oh my god, that song's kind of.
If you say so.
All right, let's move on to your number 4.
I can almost guarantee no one has even heard of this song or this band. The Night Pat Murphy Died by Great Big Sea is coming in at number 4. It's an Atlantic Canadian band. They're big in Canada, huge in Atlantic Canada. They have lots and lots of hits actually in this area. And The Night Pat Murphy Died is just kind of it's probably the song that 90% of Atlantic Canadians know it and sing it pretty much every time it comes on. It's a drinking song. You sing it at 9 o'clock. You sing it at 2 a.m. Yeah, it's one of those fun up-tempo songs that everyone knows and it's has fun with.
So I know, Corey, you're probably talking Greek to the rest of the community. So to sort of explain the song in a sentence, imagine like a stereotypical Celtic sort of like jig. It's kind of like that, but a lot better. I completely agree with you, and Great Big Sea is not only one of the greatest bands in Atlantic Canada, but one of the greatest Canadian bands ever. I would probably put Ordinary Day over this in terms of summer songs, but I completely get it. It's that sort of like kitchen party sort of vibe where everybody's just sort of like hollering, dancing, having shots, having a fun time. I will save everybody the pain. Has anybody heard of this song?
I've heard of Great Big Sea, but I've never heard any of their songs.
Okay, it sounds good. But...
After this show, go listen to this song, Ordinary Day, and probably Boston and St. John would be the other one that I would recommend in terms of Great Big Sea. But yeah, it's super, to sort of echo what Corey was saying, it's a super upbeat song. It talks about how they're trying to like hide this coffin or whatever, and they're trying to like stall this woman being at a bar. It has accordion and it works. It completely works. So now let's move on over to Kaleb to round out 7 through 4. What was your number 7?
Oh boy! All right. Well, my list will continue to be the ones that people have actually heard songs from. I don't know if they're gonna know. I will not apologize for putting a Kid Rock song. All Summer Long is great. This song is a summer song through and through. It's fun. I don't give a shit if it's good. I don't give a shit if it's Kid Rock. Kid Rock sucks. He's good with this one song because it is a perfect summer song. It's a lot of fun. It totally like sums up what summer is. I think it's great. It's great. Bar can walk off. He fucking sat there and tried to tell me B-52s are a summer song. Go fuck yourself.
All right. So Kid Rock is fine. I don't mind Kid Rock. Picture's really good. He actually has a really good featuring part in Nickelback's cover of Saturday Night's All Right.
Yeah,
which Koho knows, and it's fucking awesome. And I'm actually fine with oh my god, whatever that other song is, and I can't remember. But yeah, I would rather take the song that this gets inspiration from, Werewolves of London. It takes Werewolves of London and it's Sweet Home Alabama, but I kind of like that piano riff. And this song in particular is kind of over top in a bad way. They just add things that don't really need to be there, and I think it's just trying to copy too much of like what Werewolves of London and Sweet Home Alabama and like those songs of yesteryear. I think it's trying to take too much from that, and it doesn't have any like original sound. It doesn't sound like Kid Rock, other than his vocal qualities. But I can't wait to hear everybody else's thoughts on this fine song.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is the first one I can't like get on board with on any level. I don't like Kid Rock, and I'm a Tennessean. I love the state of Tennessee and the University of Tennessee, and so because of that, anything that tries to sing the virtues of Alabama, which are actually non-existent, I can't get on board with. And so yeah, unfortunately, this one it is not for me. I'm definitely not the target audience for this song, I will admit.
Andrew or Corey, are you the target audience for this song?
I'll let Andrew go.
Fine.
If he's got
Koho just said, "I don't care if it's not good." Like what?
It's a great summer song, but you wouldn't listen to it anywhere else.
What is that argument?
You put Left Shack, and that song is objectively trash. I don't know why you get to sit here and tell me this is bad.
You can objectively say mine is trash, but you just admitted yours is trash. I don't understand the logic of this.
Because I would listen to this anytime outside of summer. I would listen to this
like saying I love Velveeta. It's not good for me, but Velveeta's amazing.
Right in the context.
Time. All right. Good job, guys. Corey, your thoughts?
All right. Listen here, Koho.
Love you, buddy.
You had my back. I got Koho's back. I like this song. It's a fun song. Kid Rock is not that bad. And I probably like Rockstar more than this song, but I get with the summer theme and the feel to it. Yeah, I'm not going to hate on this pick. I can't do it.
All right. Let's move on to number 6.
I don't know where Evan DeGraff is, but you say his name and he shall appear. Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. So this is a chill as fuck summer song, and it gives you this super. It gives you those tropical vibes again, and it's super lax, and I think it's like a perfect sort of swinging in a hammock on a summer day with a drink in your hand, sort of. By drink I mean water, obviously, because I have never had alcohol in my life. However, Margaritaville, great song.
So yeah, if my dad was hosting the show, we'd probably stop here and declare you the winner. But I am not him. I have expanded my musical taste, and this song is fine. It's 6 is the right spot for it. It's not top 5, but I think it definitely needs that consideration. I do agree. It's a very laid back, super chill song. It's straightforward. It's all it really needs to be, and it does it really well. I think it's been overplayed in terms of like how many times I've played the song, so it's lost value for me. But everybody else though, have you ever gotten wasted away again in Margaritaville?
I almost put this on my list. I don't love this song, and I think the song has a very, very specific place. However, the right season for this is the summer, so that's not a bad pick, Koho.
That's why I thought you must say it a little bit louder for the kids in the back.
It's not a bad pick, Koho.
Thank you very much. All right.
Yeah, I mean, this is a quintessential summer song, so I can't fault you for picking this one. I agree that it does appeal to the dad crowd, but I mean, I had Don Henley. I like Steely Dan, so I can't knock you too much for going with a little bit of dad music here. And yeah, Jimmy Buffett. You could have picked a lot of his songs probably for this list. So I commend you on this pick.
Yeah, same here. Decent song. You're going to hear it plenty without listening to it yourself. So it's kind of not really the music I generally lean towards. So that's why it's not on my list.
All right, let's hear your number 5.
Now we hit the top 5, and the top 5 are songs that I think objectively are some of the best summer songs to ever exist. I like my chicken fried cold beer on a Friday night. Zach Brown Band's Chicken Fried, I think objectively is one of the best summer songs to ever exist. It is a quintessential summer song in its entire vibe. It could be a campfire song. It's a barbecue song. It has so many different meanings, different ways you can use it within the context of summer. This is a must on every summer song playlist for me.
So this is the 3rd best Zach Brown summer song. Toes and actually, ironically, Knee Deep, which features Jimmy Buffett, would like to have a word with you. It's good. It's definitely in that mix, but those are the 2 that I would pick over it. Very similar to Margaritaville, I have lost so much interest in this song. Corey will definitely attest to this. Just being at the factory, at like the country bar, and then that song gets played, and then you just watch like 100 drunk white bitches being like, "Oh my god, it's chicken fried! I love this song." It's just like, but they're good. They've played here before. I enjoy the rest of their songs. It's in the mix, but there are 2 better ones. But everybody else, Chicken Fried, They get fried, grilled.
Overplayed, outdone, not fun. So stereotypical country. I'm going to say a certain few words and make a hit out of it. I hate this song with every fiber in my body. Can't stand it. No.
When this song first came out, I loved it. I loved this song. However, in the last couple of years, it's kind of fallen into one of those checklist songs for me. Like, I'm like, you're just naming things and there's the stereotypical things. Like, you can do that and you can do that really well. Like, I know that Brad Paisley has done it really well. And I really like the Zac Brown Band, except their last album fucking blew. So I just couldn't.
Yeah, I think this is a summer song for sure, but I don't think it's like a great song. I don't really like much contemporary country music, and although I do like a couple of Zac Brown songs, this isn't one of them for the reasons that people have said. I think it's very it leans on the tropes of contemporary country music very hard. And yeah, I also have had the same experience, particularly for me, it was being at like college football games in the South. This song is always playing, and so it did kind of reach the overplayed status. If there was ever a point that I did get some enjoyment out of the song.
Yeah. All right, Koho, let's hear number 4.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Taylor Swift is one of the best, if not the best, musical artist of the 2010s. She's incredible. She is incredible. And this song is easily my favorite of her summer songs. It is perfect for a summer night. It's perfect for a summer party. It can be you can use it for laid back. You can use it for crowds. It has so many multi-purpose uses. It's in the discussion for my favorite Taylor Swift song. Period. It comes off what I think is her best album, Red. So love 22.
All right, so very quickly, I'll give you a pass. Taylor Swift is good. I would maybe put oh my God, Shake It Off here, but that's fine. I know Corey and Andrew are, but Scott, are you 22 or older?
Yeah, I'm 25.
Okay, so then you'll relate to this. Koho, I'm gonna sit you down. There's gonna become a time in your life.
I swear to Christ, Brooklyn Vale. I swear to Christ.
There's
you're about to give me an ageist speech about how I am not 22, I cannot relate, then I will literally leave.
I am trying to warn you, because there will be a time that you turn 22, and on your 22nd birthday, much like myself and probably the rest of the panel, that you're just going to be like, let's just play this song over and over again the entire day. And then whenever you go to re-listen to this song, you go back to the memory bank and you're like, yeah, I made dumb choices in my life. It just brings me back to being 22 and being a dumbass now that I am older. I appreciate that you still have joy for this song. But once you turn 22, just don't do what I did and play the song over and over again, because I don't really care for it. But everybody else,
when you turn 22, you play What's My Age again when you turn 23. Everyone knows this.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you have to, though.
I think we need to save Scott for last for this one. I like Taylor Swift. I like Taylor Swift a lot. She's overhated. She's absolutely overhated as a musician. It's not my favorite, and to say that Red is her best album, that's a little confusing, but I respect the pick. I respect the pick.
Which part is confusing to you? You're literally dressed in red.
The fact that it's not Fearless or 1989.
89 is second. Fearless is third.
Well, that's fair. But this is probably one of my favorites of her singles. It's a good pick. I think it's a little high, but it's a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind Taylor Swift. I find this song is just so gimmicky. Like it was literally made for girls to request this at the bar when they turn 22 and like just dance around for joy because they think Taylor Swift made a song for them on that one day. I like a lot of her other songs, but like this one just doesn't. I don't know. And maybe it's just because I've heard it so many times and a bunch of girls screaming as they're dancing to it that I don't like it anymore. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this song.
Yeah. So as people seem to know, I do love Taylor Swift. If you look at my letterbox, you can see that I watch all of her concert movies like the day that they come out, and usually give them 4.5 or 5 stars. So yeah, I
found my brother.
I'm a big fan of her, particularly as a songwriter. And that's why I think some of the singles are a little bit of a letdown sometimes, because I don't think they really show what a good songwriter that she can be. And this one I do think is one of the better ones of her singles, even though it probably wouldn't make like my top 10 or 15 of her songs. But it is a really good single from her. It is a good summer song. And yeah, for the record, Red is number 1, Speak Now is number 2, and Lover is number 3. That's my opinion.
Ooh, Lover. Ooh, that's a good.
Lover is awesome, but it's
that's a great one.
You heard it here first. Album rankings of Taylor Swift on Your List Sucks. But this now takes us to everybody's top 3, starting with Andrew. What is your number 3?
I think this is one of the best pop songs ever made by one of the most underappreciated girl groups of all time.
Prepared for a Frank Sinatra song, guys.
No. Yeah, Frank Sinatra's a girl group.
I didn't hear that part. Fuck you.
No, sir. Fuck you. This is Bananarama, and this is Cruel Summer.
Fuck you.
I think this song is amazing. That marimba that they use, that just screams summer. The lyrics of this, just, you feel the heat. You feel that intense heat that they're talking about in the lyrics. And they sound fantastic, the group. Like, this is a beautifully crafted pop song that is the perfect encapsulation of summer.
No,
not fucking all.
No, you could have tried to sell me like any song other than this, and you would have been more successful. This song is very 80s, very cheesy, very dated. It's surprisingly mainstream, knowing your taste. I was expecting like Talking Heads or like something along those lines to sort of go with this top 3, but no, you went with like Walmart Bengals.
Hold on,
like a song, and a song that is kind of up there with like I Saw the Sign in terms of just like it's just like catchy. It doesn't want to commit. I have in my notes, it's like those people that say they're gonna get wasted at the party but only have a few beers. It just can't commit.
Fuck you.
But everybody else, Where Was the Cruel Summer by Bananarama.
If Don Henley and the Boys of Summer wasn't making it, fuck Bananarama and Cruel Summer. This song is trash. This is my least favorite one to play at this classic rock station. It's dog shit. There's nothing to this that's cool. That marimba makes me want to marimba myself. It's fucking terrible.
If I have to hear Yamo be there one more time, I'm like, Yamo, burn this place to the ground.
You guys just fuck this song. It's trash.
I mean, since we just talked about Taylor Swift, I should say that Taylor Swift has a much better song named Cruel Summer. But this song it's not that great. I think I agree that I Saw the Sign is a good comparison. Steal My Sunshine is another one that I would throw in that same category and that I thought about for this list for like 0.2 seconds. And then I was like, no, that song sucks. This one's a little better than that. But
it sucks, Brooklyn.
Wow, I didn't think that was going to be controversial, but it's a fine pick. I think it's too high, personally.
Canadian one-hit wonder icons, Glen, with the greatest one-hit wonder of the 90s.
Right.
I'm definitely losing now.
Right now. I'll take what Kaleb said, and then I'll dial it back like 1,000%. and then that's kind of like, I don't know. I'm just not. I can't really get into this song right here.
Okay.
I didn't know I was in the minority for this one.
Well, everybody gets surprised one of these days. But let's go over to Scott now for his 3.
Yeah, my 3 is "Island in the Sun" by Weezer. This song obviously has a great summery vibe to it, but also is tied to a very specific memory for me, which is that a few years ago I went to a music festival in Alabama after I took a crap on them, but it was on the beach, so I just tell myself that it's Florida and not Alabama. But I was on the beach in Alabama and I saw Weezer at like 7 p.m. like maybe like 150 feet from the ocean or something. And so this song, they started playing this song like right as the sunset is going down over the ocean. And I'm like standing on the beach and I'm like, this is living. And so this, obviously it's a great summer song when you take it out of that context, but when you add that context in, I was like the most quintessential summer song experience that I've had. I was like, this has to make my list.
To be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised and simultaneously disappointed that this song did not get yiked. It is definitely like the summer Weezer song on an album that kind of gets overlooked, considering like the Blue album and like Pinkerton and even the White album. But the Green album is really good overall. But what I love about this is that Weezer's really good at applying like different like themes and different sounds without taking away like what their base is and what they really sort of stand for. They don't do as good of a job in that later in their career. Black album in particular is dog shit. But in terms of summer songs, this is a great number 3. I'm very happy that one of you put the song on here. But I know there's some Weezer love in the crowd. But where was Sound in the Sun?
For me, I will admit right now, I actually overlooked Weezer whenever I was kind of thinking of this list. Weezer has a lot of good songs, and this is actually a really good song. If I was to consider it, I don't think it would rank this high for me. But I can't hate on the pick. It's a good chill song, and I just never really thought of Weezer whenever I was making this list.
This is easily one of Weezer's best songs, in my opinion. I think the Green album is very underrated. I like the pick. I personally think it's a little high, but I like the pick.
Sure. Okay. That's all you have to say about Weezer. Sure.
Do you know this song?
I like Weezer. I didn't think of the song though, but I can't fault him.
Right. Cool. Well, you do you. Let's move over to Corey then for your number 3.
All right. So before I say what my number 3 is, I want to set the scene. There's a 9-year-old Corey. It's a bright summer's day. He just got his new ghetto blaster with his D batteries in it, and he's going to run around the neighborhood with his new CD that he just got. Now, some people are going to think that Bye 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 might be the best song on the CD. Some people might think It's Gonna Be Me is the best song on the CD, but the best song on that CD is the title track itself, No Strings Attached by NSYNC. This song is a 2000 banger. It gets you fired up. It is great. It is full of energy. It is fun. It's the title track for this album for a reason. No Strings Attached is an amazing song.
Corey, I'm really sorry for what I'm about to say.
Don't care.
This is one of the first albums I ever got, so there is some sentimental attachment to it. That being said, though, you should have picked It's Gonna Be Me. Upon re-listening to this song, it's a great riff, and that's about it. The verse is really bland, and the chorus is kind of all right. I just go back to it for that riff they do in the middle because it's kind of fun, and it brings you back to that Simpsons episode whenever they guest spot whenever the kids try to make a boy band. And that's the song. They use this song in the show itself. But yeah, you should have picked It's Gonna Be Me. I think that song in particular is kind of like the unofficial kickoff song to the summer because everybody makes it to April 30th. Oh, it's gonna be May. But yeah, this is definitely that like nostalgia sort of home pick for you, which is fine. Everybody's allowed one. But yeah, guys, no strings attached. Where were you guys in 2000 whenever this album came out?
I was in a stroller somewhere, most likely. I was not even an entire year old. But I honestly couldn't tell you which NSYNC song this is. If I'm being honest, I couldn't tell you. I know it's gonna be May, and I know Bye Bye Bye. That's basically that it. I have no idea what this is. So
I'm not gonna lie. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, on Koho's note, I think I was probably like maybe a year or two too young for NSYNC. Even if I wasn't, the Backstreet Boys, like I heard more of them as a kid than I did of NSYNC. So I probably heard this song once or twice, but I don't remember it enough to make any sort of intelligent comment about whether it is or is not a summer song.
I like this. I don't know if I would consider this a summer song. I mean, I get why. I get why it's here. However, I kind of agree. I had this album when I was when I was younger. I like it, but here's my other thing. The Backstreet Boys are the better boy band.
And Andrew, what time is it?
I like to
make my grand exit later, boys.
I like to posit secret option C, Jonas Brothers is the correct answer. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
No. I meant between the two. The best boy band is Rockhampton.
I agree.
Koho, can you of all people possibly redeem us with your number 3 selection?
I think I can. I'm gonna take you back to the summer of 2013.
Wow,
such a long time ago. Such a long time ago. Take it back 7 years ago. The summer of 2013. A great year for pop music. But the song that would define that summer and really make a young man by the name of Bruno Mars, someone that Kaleb Koho would recognize, was Locked Out of Heaven. Locked Out of Heaven is probably the best summer song Bruno Mars has ever made. It's up there. It is energetic. It's got great vocals, and it is a whole lot of fun. And it just has that summer sound to it that you can't really define, but you just know it when you hear it. I think that's what the song totally is. So,
I mean, you did what you were thought out to do. It's your best song on the list so far. I would agree that it's probably like top 2, top 3 Bruno Mars. And Bruno Mars overall, I'd probably put like the Lazy Song or like Flowers in there as well. But this definitely has that like policey sort of like post reggae vibe that I think really fits the theme. And the music video for this actually does a really good job. It's set in that like summer sort of like Havana like nightclub, and like he's playing with the band. And whenever the song slows down in the pre-chorus, it sort of comes along with everybody. Also, the bass line in the song fucking slaps. It's really goddamn good, and that was sort of the key of like this sound, and they just like hit it out of the park. Were you guys locked out of heaven? Were you stuck in purgatory?
Bar left. He was so mad.
God.
All right, yeah. But yeah, Corian. Oh, there he's back.
Yeah, so
sorry, you said the Lazy Song, and I immediately just left.
Oh, so that's why. So it wasn't like a reconnect thing. It was just a rage quiz.
No, it was the fact that you gave a positive review to the Lazy Song. Fuck that.
It's a great song, but that's
not
That's not the point.
It's not.
You are distracting me from trying to go to Chance and Scott, who just want to give their opinion about this great song.
Who's Chance? I did the exact same thing. Chance isn't here, Brooklyn.
Oh, I feel like I missed something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Scott.
well, I'll just say I don't really like Bruno Mars that much. I think that his songs are pretty cheesy and derivative, and it's clear the kind of like vibe that he's going for. But I think that there are other artists decades before him who have done it better. I might have picked Runaway Baby. I think that's a pretty decent song, but other than that, there's not much Bruno Mars that I really go for.
I had a lot of Bruno Mars songs that I considered putting on the list. None of them ended up making it, but this is a good, catchy summer song. The one that was closest for me, though, was actually That's What I Like. That is definitely my favorite Bruno Mars song. I think it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I can't hate on any Bruno Mars song except for the Lazy song. That's not a good song, Brooklyn.
That's a great song.
No, it's not.
Thank you.
It's so bad.
Thank you.
Cover Mars.
All right.
I really like Locked Out of Heaven. It's probably one of my more favorite of Bruno Mars' songs. However, if I was going to pick a summer song, I'd probably pick 24 Karat Magic.
That doesn't
that's
summer
fine.
to me at all, though.
Even Finesse, despite how much I hate Cardi B. Let's
don't
move
see
on to
anything for
Andrew's
that
tier
album.
number 2.
We're gonna take it back. Okay. I made my music debut on Multiplex in an episode of Dance Off, where one of the questions was best summer song. My opponent picked Hose. I picked the correct answer for that match, at least, which was Summertime by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Oh, okay.
This song is so smooth, and the lyrics just encapsulate the entire atmosphere of the season. The organic groove is so warm that you feel the heat of the season. And as I said, the smoothness of Will Smith's rapping in this, it is the perfect hip-hop song to encapsulate the summer. Summertime.
Now, Corey, you had a different Will Smith song. This would now be the time where you talk about that song.
Okay, so I actually came down between the two, Summertime and Wild Wild West, whenever I was making my list. Just for me, I like Wild Wild West more. So that is why it made my list over Summertime. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with Will Smith. I mean, I don't know. I really enjoy him. And with Wild Wild West, even though the movie wasn't that great, I think the song turned out a lot better than the movie. And I mean, I got no problems with Will Smith.
So I'll go to Summertime first because I was higher ranked, and then I'll go to Wild Wild West. I have in my notes here, this is exactly what Family Guy was talking about whenever they did that cutaway about how tame his lyrics are. They're just like, what? It's like, it's really just, there's nothing really to like delve into and explore. And I know this is the second time.
It's not about the lyrics, it's about the atmosphere.
But the atmosphere, though, doesn't really do anything. You talk about how hot it is. What are you smoking? You shouldn't get hot from listening to a song. If you get hot, check your AC or like go to your doctor. I know it's expensive down there, but I'm sure it's worth it. I can't attach to this song. I've tried, and it's just nothing. Wild Wild West, though, on the other hand, it gets bonus points right out of the gate for actually let me scroll down here. There we go. Yeah, so it gets bonus points for sampling that bass line from I Wish by Stevie Wonder. It's very like upbeat, and this song does a better job in terms of like matching the flow to the beat. And I think Will does a really good job in that song. What I do want to point out, though, and what I think really drives this song more for me is in the outro, and it's part of the sample in itself. The beat resets on the third beat which sort of in the looping process sort of lets everything have a chance to sort of shine, and it lets things sort of like transition and move really freely. And I think that really works well, especially with Will's vibe. Like this, like it's a hopping sort of beat, and I draw to it more. But Koho and Scott, where was Will Smith and his fresh and clean lyrics?
Can we put you on trial for not fucking understanding music? Like, my God, it's not always about fucking lyrics, Brooklyn. Like, I will 100% agree with Bar. Summertime was one I considered just because of the atmosphere. It doesn't matter if he's not saying it. Doesn't matter. He had to be clean. He made a promise to his grandma. That's the endearing, charming part of Will Smith's entire fucking rap career. So the beauty of the song is that he had to think outside of his words and actually try and produce a song that made you feel like you were in summertime. And I think he does it well. I didn't put it on my top 10 because I'll be honest, I think it's overplayed, but that doesn't mean it's not great. Wild Wild West, on the other hand, dog shit. I can't believe you put it on your and I can't believe Brooklyn Vail is sitting here going, Wild Wild West better than Summertime. Fuck off. Go listen to the Bare Naked Ladies some more.
I will.
I defended you when no one else did.
Corey looks like Caesar when he got stabbed.
Yeah, I had your back too, and then you destroyed it with Wild Wild West.
Fuck. This is bullshit.
Scott.
Yeah, I think these are both good songs. I think Wild Wild West is definitely better than the movie. I don't know that I have an opinion on which of these two songs is better, but in terms of like the smooth 90s hip hop, I went with the song that I'm about to say for my number 2 instead of these songs. Ooh. But I could have gone with these.
All right then. Well, let's hear what your number 2 was.
Okay, my number 2 was California Love by Tupac and Dr. Dre.
Yikes.
Okay. All right.
Finally a yikes.
All right, so now I move on to Corey's number 2.
Okay, so you guys know music and instruments a lot more than I do and way better than I do. So I'm interested to see what you think about these guys. But my number 2 pick is Rather Be by Clean Bandit featuring Jess Glen.
Totally redeemed yourself.
Because, so, I don't know, Clean Bandit, they're such a funky group, and it seems like they incorporate a lot of different instruments. To my ear, it sounds really good. I'm sure to your guys' ears, there's probably difference, and you hear different things, but I really like their sound. Jess Glen is probably like my favorite quote-unquote pop singer, like, in the last 5-6 years, and Rather Be is just such a fun, upbeat song. The lyrics, in my opinion, kind of capture what the mood wants to be for summer and things like that. I like a lot of her music, and this is probably one of my top 2 songs by her, and I like Clean Bandit, and this is probably one of my favorite things from them as well, so that's why I came in at number 2 for me.
So whenever you had sent me in this list, this is another one that sort of threw me off guard. I initially had asked, maybe he had some influence, maybe he had asked his significant other what her favorite summer songs were. So it's surprising to me that you actually enjoyed this song as much as you do. It's good. It's not awful. If there was one thing that I would sort of change about it musically, is I would have let the violins come in the chorus. Because whenever that starts off, it sets the tone nicely. But then when it goes to like that, like sort of like subtle and soft, like synth pad, it sort of loses its value. So would have rather that purely just for like I'm a fan of buildups. But Rather Be, where does that fit for you guys?
Brilliant. Heavily considered it. The Jess Glen song "Hold My Hand" was also really heavily in contention. Both are very up there for me. I think "Rather Be's" better than "Hold My Hand," but they're close. This was probably my definitive summer song of 2014. I love it. It was. You don't even know how close it was to making this list. Now it kills me that it wasn't on. All the applause. This song is fantastic.
Good.
Yeah, this is a good song, and I do like Clean Bandit as well. I think I found them several years ago. There's this really old song they have called Mozart's House, which is like a really funky like song with spoken word and stuff in it. But they have a really interesting sound. Like Symphony and Tears are also really good songs by them. And yeah, I think you could have picked several, and this is definitely a good choice.
This isn't one that I was considering, but as soon as you said it, I was like, "That's a good pick." I think it wore out its welcome just a little bit for me because it was almost too clean and almost too precise. But it is one that after a while not listening to it, I reheard it, and yeah, this song's pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Take that.
All right. Since we're now over to Koho for your number 2.
I'm very confident my 2 will not be on anyone else's list. As you can see, we're pretty hardcore into the world of 2010s pop, an era that I happen to believe has its ups, has its downs, but on the whole, very, very solid decade for pop. I went Justin Bieber's Love Yourself. I think the song is brilliant. It might be his best song ever. It's up there. It's extremely well written. That might have something to do because Ed Sheeran helped write it. And I think he's up there for maybe the best songwriter of the 2010s with Taylor Swift. But I think it's such a relaxed song, but it captures that summer vibe and the guitars and everything. And just the idea of like summer breakup in a song like this is kind of really interesting. I really enjoy it. I think it's Bieber's best. So, and I'm not that big of a Bieber fan. So when that album hit and I liked it as much as I did, pretty shocked. It's good.
So, Caleb, it's going to actually be at this point where I say that I owe you a sandwich, because if you actually picked the song beforehand on this album, if you picked Sorry, the best goddamn Justin Bieber song, not only the best Justin Bieber song, but one of the best pop songs of the decade.
It's summer to me. It's a winter's feel.
Well, it's a summer song for me, and I'm a fat fuck, and this song gets me up and dancing like a drunk white bitch. How do you not pick Sorry? It
sounds like a winter song.
How is that a winter song?
It's such a cold song. It's such a cold song in production and everything.
Yes, because the bright synths are. It's like, oh, it's cold. Let's just. I'm gonna grab the fucking blanket, grab the throne for Sorry Boys, or the robe or whatever the fuck you guys call this. But yeah, Love Yourself is fine. It's good. It's a good breakup song, but there's Supremely Better by Justin Bieber.
But okay.
Why were you guys not believers?
So I'm gonna start with Sorry, and I can't stand that song. I think Sorry is all over the place and like a messy song. I just don't like it. In terms of Love Yourself, yeah, I mean it's a pretty good song. I think Justin Bieber is almost like Taylor Swift, where he's overhated. Like people hate what he does almost automatically. And but this, I don't know. I found this song really good, and it was almost like a redemption song almost for him, where he was going wild, 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 and then he kind of came back with this like chill, laid back song. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, I mean it's not bad. Justin's not really for me, but it's a song.
For me, I don't hate this song. In fact, I would say that I like this song. It's got one of my favorite digs in music history, which is "My Mama Don't Like You and She Likes Everyone." However, if I was going to pick a Justin Bieber song for summer songs, I'd probably go with "Boyfriend." I don't hate this pick. It's too high. It's too high, but I don't hate this pick.
I really like this song. I think I'm Team Koho on this one. That it's the better, at least between that and Sorry. And yeah, this was definitely the album where I like rethought my feelings on Justin Bieber. I mean, like I still don't think he's like that great, but I'll give his songs the benefit of the doubt now because of the several singles. On this album. What's the other one? What was the first single called?
Now and what do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Yeah, that one was good too. But yeah, I think this one's probably my favorite.
Yeah, I would also agree with what you mean. But cool. It looks like I'm the lone person on the Sorry Hill. But
Yeah,
we're now on
Sorry
to
Hill
number
indeed.
one. I let you down. Is it too late to say that I'm sorry now? Andrew, let's go to your number one.
My number one is the most perfect summer encapsulation ever put to music. And from the instrumentals to the vocals to the lyrics to the atmosphere to the world that it sets, which is the most important thing for this song. And it's Under the Boardwalk by the Drifters. This song is just the description of the setting around them is perfectly told. You can smell the food in the air. You can hear the people walking above them as this one couple is making love in the sand underneath the boardwalk. The Drifters have such great, big voices. They're almost deep, and the music, the instrumentals from, I can't remember what the name of that one instrument is. It's where you scrape it across the wooden ridges.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I also don't know the name.
Yeah, that sets the tone for this song so wonderfully. It is such a warm atmosphere of a song. It is the song that I imagine hearing when I am on the beach. Under the Boardwalk, I think, is the perfect song to encapsulate the feel of summer.
So I don't know what it is about you and Koho, and maybe it's theater kids in general, about just the tone and the atmosphere and how these are important factors in songs. Because it has to sell, and it doesn't sell. This song is boring. I was very surprised to hear that this was this was your number one. There's better. There's better. It has.
I'm sorry they don't have summer in Canada where you're at.
It has those Latin influences, and I appreciate that. But when I think of this song, it makes me want to go listen to Otis Redding or Jimmy Buffett, like we mentioned before, or even Aretha Franklin, or just something that has a little more spunk to it. I just think it's just kind of it's kind of flat to me, but the last song, I died on that hill alone. So I'm sure everyone else will say this is the greatest song of the 70s. I think this is, I will say I am proud of you. This is your first song pre-1970. So you are working on sort of reconstructing that brand of classics. Oh, you did have two songs that were pre-1970s. Forget what I said. Corey, Scott, Koho, where was the Drifters?
I have no idea what this is. I'm very completely honest. I have no idea.
It's probably better.
No.
Okay. Cool.
No. Listen to it.
Bar.
So
you said setting a world. Is this like Mariana's Trench?
No, it's not. It's not like Mariana's Trench. It's a lot smoother and more Motowny.
We'll see. We'll see how I feel. I'll check it out. Bar has never steered me wrong musically before, so.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go ahead, Scott.
Okay. I mean, I don't know I didn't know what this one was either, but I listened to a little bit of it while y'all were talking. I think it sounds pretty good. I get why you picked it for a summer song. I don't know about number one, but I haven't had the chance to properly listen to it yet. But I will, because I liked what I was able to hear just from listening to a minute or so of it.
So I'm in the same boat as Scott, where I didn't know it, but I looked it up right now. Except after listening to it, I'm in the same boat as Brooklyn, because that song seems very boring to me. So yeah,
I'm sorry you don't have boardwalks in Canada.
That's all we have.
That's all we have. We're literally an island. We are surrounded by water. I can go to a beach this way or this way and be there within 20 minutes or half an hour.
That's all we have.
Yeah. All right. So now let's go to Scott for your number one.
Yeah, so I took a little bit of a risk with my number one because I think to truly love the song as much as I do, you have to also love the sport, which it is talking about. But my number one is Center Field by John Fogerty.
It's destiny. It's destiny.
This song, I talked about before how I used to go to the minor league baseball park a lot when we had season tickets. I also worked there for a summer when I was in college, and this song played at the same time before every single game. I had to be there before every game, so I was an usher, and so I just got so used to hearing this every night before the game. And obviously I love baseball, and so it's just the perfect song to get me ready to sit there and watch a baseball game on a summer night. I mean, there's no sport for me which exemplifies summer more than baseball does, and this is going to be a really bad summer this summer if we don't have baseball. But so for that reason, because I can't think of summer without thinking of baseball, this is the most quintessentially baseball song, so I chose it.
I like this song. I'm personally a fan of John Fogerty. He does really good work at TCR, and I've been a fan of his overall presence. I think it's my bias towards baseball kind of hurts this. If you have ever had a conversation with me before, you've known that baseball isn't my super cup of tea. I'm more into contact sports. So I don't attach to this as others I know for sure do. But it's good. This is also probably the most Americana of songs on the list. It has that very it's borderline cliche, but I think it sells it really well. I think for Canada in general, and Corey may agree or disagree with me on this, but I think Tom Cochrane's Big League is essentially America's version of Center Field. Has a very similar vibe, more rock. That's a little more rock influenced, but it sort of does the same thing. So I appreciate it for that. It's a absolutely fine number one choice, but I would have leaned to more the Big League. But where were you guys not in center field? Were you in left field, right field? Were you catching, playing shortstop? Were you playing rover? Were you playing softball? But yeah.
I'm a dumbass.
Can you say that a little bit closer into the microphone? We didn't quite pick that up.
Oh, bruh.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I do play baseball. I still play baseball, and I'm in the same boat. This summer's going to suck. It looks like we're going to get our season going, maybe. But and what I love about this is that I am an outfielder. I am a center fielder. And to have a song that's not focusing on the pitcher or the shortstop is good to see. Love to the outfielders. I mean, it's a great song. It's a fun song. It's one of those that definitely relates to summer. I've heard it a million times. Once again, when it comes down to the style of music, it's just not something that I'm going to put on my Spotify playlist. But it's a song that anytime I do hear it, it's fun to listen to. So I can support it as a number one pick for sure.
It's destiny for center field to be brought up today, because it's the song where me and Cody Newberry became bitter rivals for life, because he suggested it.
Idea.
He submitted center field as his last pick in the last song. He submitted center field, and he looked at me, and it comes down to my vote. I either get center field on and we're done, or I can try and get my own on. And I look at him and I go, he goes, if you vote for, we have 2 spots left. He goes, if you vote for me yes on this one, I will vote yes on whatever you put up next. And I was like, I could try and get 2 on, or I could vote yes and guarantee 1 on. And I got greedy. And I said no. And from there, Cody Newberry and I have never been friends. And I tried getting Love Yourself on immediately after, and he said no. So, it's destiny that this got brought up. It's a good song, and I will always remember it for Cody Newberry. So.
All right, now let's move on to, I believe we're on Corey's number one.
So I made a mistake earlier. I guess I should have yiked whenever Scott said California Love. And
it's fine because Koho did. So.
Yeah. So I have another song by Tupac, and it's not that song, but this is pure just personal taste, and this is one of my favorite songs of all time. So my number one pick is actually Thug's Mansion by Tupac. And I'm not sure how familiar you are with the song. There's 2 versions. There's one that has Nas and someone else where it's an acoustic version of it. This is it's called the 7 remix with Anthony Hamilton. So it's more of like the hip hop focused version of it. And this is like one of my favorite songs of all time. Even though it talks about like dying, I guess, and going to heaven, to me, the chorus is so upbeat. The lyrics in the chorus kind of talk about like what you want summer to be, spending time with your family, friends, relaxing, having fun in a good setting and stuff like that. And yeah, this is one of my favorite songs of all time, and it's always on any playlist that I have. So that's why it's coming in number 1 for me.
All right. And then Scott and Caleb, you guys had a different Tupac song at number 1. What did you guys have?
My number 1 is California Love with Tupac and Dr. Dre, which I believe was Scott's too. I think this is kind of the summer song to me. Just from as soon as the vibe, as soon as you just hear the just song kick in, just the California knows how to party. It's just instantly you're just sucked into that entire vibe of that song, and it's a song I can just listen to on repeat over and over and over. It's my favorite Tupac song, and I think it screams summer to me in a really big way. So even though Dr. Dre is better on the song than Tupac is,
yeah, it's a really fun song, and it has great like smooth production beat to it. Like you said, it's 2 like legendary iconic MCs just like trading raps, and so like I mean there's really nothing not to like about this song. And if I ever go to California someday, I will listen to this song probably as I hop off the plane, although I might have to listen to Party in the USA first actually.
All right,
Shotgun's awesome, by the way, Holtzman. Shotgun's great.
My wife would agree. Shotgun slaps. But before I go to me, I'm actually going to go to Andrew first. Where was the West Coast vibe on your list?
I haven't listened to as much Tupac as a lot of other people have. I like him. I really just need to listen to more. However, I have heard of California Love. It's not the best Dre feature of all time. Koho. Blackstreet.
The panel of judges from our debate would say otherwise, sir.
The panel of the people, which I represent, would agree with me.
You're representing because they're wrong.
I believe it was on that panel. You gave Andrew the point.
You did give me the point.
No, you gave me the point. I won that one.
No, you won that one, but Brooklyn gave me his vote. So
Brooklyn's incorrect. So
yay, people fight over my attention. It's like getting married over again.
But I do like California Love. That I think the beat is the best part of California Love, personally. That driving beat is so powerful and it's so good, and it's dirty, and I kind of like the dirtiness of it, and it really does fit the summer very well.
I'm uncomfortable by the way you just said dirty. Please never do that again.
It's dirty.
I'm gonna go take a shower. I'm scared.
I need to
go. So California Love. I talked earlier in the show on how answers can sometimes be super obvious. This is one of those times where it is obvious, and it is totally fine because this is kind of like the almost like natural sort of number 1. I do agree that beat fucking slaps, and you instinctively bop your head to the rhythm. You don't notice it. It's like, oh yeah. But yeah, Dre has a really good verse. I think this is one of the songs that people sort of like overlook in terms of like his rapping skills. And then Tupac, and then the outro. I know I have given shit before for songs that have really bad outros. This is one of the better outros in terms of like how it's sort of separate from the song in particular. It's weird, but it really works. In terms of Thug's Mansion, though, Tupac is expected for number 1. I'm surprised there was no Biggie on this list. I thought you were a Biggie fan like myself. In terms of the Biggie versus Tupac vibe. But yeah, this is definitely in terms of like Corey's brand is for as long as I've known him. It's a very on-brand decision. I could see you just sort of bopping along to this. It is a deep cut. I'm like them. I've really only listened to this song for the list, so I don't have that attachment to it yet. But I have been proven wrong. There has been songs on here that I've hated, and then have been proven to love months later. But that is everybody's list. Let us get to the overall list and see what it looks like. Starting off at number 10, we have fucking Cruel Summer somehow got on there. Then we have Locked Out of Heaven, Summertime. Then we have Love Yourself. Then we have Rather Be, Under the Boardwalk, Thugs Mansion, Center Field, and number one, because of that double usage on lists, is California Love by Tupac and Dr. Dre. But now we have to unveil the winner of Your List Sucks, and your winner of Your List Sucks is Scott Harvey.
I'm actually surprised.
Scott actually gave me the first list. He was the first person to submit a list, and it's solid. It's not like there's no like super shining star picks, but your list is consistent. You don't have a lot of hot takes, and I believe the overall rating I gave it was a B+, if I am not mistaken. And then in second, it was actually Corey. Corey was second. And I'm just pulling up the notes here for myself.
This is what everyone cares about. Who
absolutely. But yeah, Corey was second. He had it. I gave his list a B. He has some yikes-ish sort of takes.
Oh, definitely.
But like you know what I mean. I think you redeemed yourself with some of the Canadian ones. To be honest with you, in third we have Kaleb Koho.
Yeah, suck it, Bar. Suck it. You have Cruel Summer, you're trash.
With a C+.
Lost the Kid Rock bar.
You almost got last place for Love Yourself and All Summer Long Alone, but then you redeemed yourself by actually having like a pretty good bottom three. With that being said, though, the loser is Andrew. I gave you a C-. You're doing better in terms of like not having your list being super old, but you got to do this thing called playing to the crowd, playing to the audience. And I think your attempts at that with I'm on a Boat and was just not good. And your number one is really yikes. It's
You tried.
So that is going to wrap up. That is going to wrap up another episode of Your List Sucks. This is the last regular show, I guess, of the season. Cody, I guess, is now kicking off the top 100 part 1, I guess it would be, or volume 1. But there are 4 people. Yeah, I'll let Caleb talk about it.
We are doing our top 100 series starting next week. It'll go all summer long, all the way to August. We have our 4 panelists, myself, the Man Boat, Belloc Man Boat, Caleb Boatman, and he will be on there. Kirk Kowalkowski, the leader of the PTA, and you'll also have Jake, the pretentious one, Marangoni. So it's gonna be a fun time. I'm gonna win this list, and if you don't believe me, you're wrong. You're wrong. But it's gonna be a fun summer of that stuff. It kicks off next week with 100 to 91. So.
Once again, turning top 10 shows into competition. Isn't it great? But that is going to wrap up another episode of Your List Sucks. I do want to thank Koho for producing the show, as he always does. Andrew, Scott, Corey for making his second official Fan League appearance debut. But that is going to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for saying it in the chat. Like I said, next week kicks off the top 100 films of all time. But cheers, guys, and as always, drive safely.
Don't.
Well, I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you.
You have part of my attention. You have the minimum amount.
I'm the guy who does his job. You must be the other guy.
You got a lot of problems, don't you?
Oh, it's good to be back.
Eat shit. Eat shit. Eat shit.
Smug smile.
Definitely eat shit.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
You can't handle the truth.